The return of manhood, you feel it in the air. No simp moves here, now move with flair. Her debit card works too, so don't get it twisted. Deal with women strictly on the terms enlisted. Keep it simple, boy, learn the truth. The weak play games, but the strong bring proof. She can't shake a man who owns his terms. Returning to fire and the world gon' burn. Tag it 20, you know the name. Dropping lessons on a name, playing the same. No pedestal, nah, don't elevate low. A queen only follows when the king says go. Too many masked up trying to impress. Losing themselves, caught up in the stress. Be the man, don't fall for the crowd. Speak your truth, strong will, stand proud. If she's in your life, she earns a spot, but a king never bends for a second thought. No validation needed, power on reserve. Rule your world, let her match your nerve. Yeah, manhood restored, the king's in the game. Cag zagging 20, remember the name. Strictly on your terms, you know what to do. Her debit card works, but the throne's on you.
You can't handle the truth.
Yo. What's good? What's good? Let me holler at y'all right quick. Red flag alert. Are you ignoring these warnings? Gentlemen, are you ignoring these warning signs? Red flag alert. Are you ignoring these warning signs? I'm going to share a video with y'all in just a minute. Before we get into that, like, share, and subscribe. Also, for those of you who are interested in one-on-one coaching, in the description, there's a link to schedule consultations. Also, this is very important. If you schedule a consultation, understand that payment is due prior to the consultation. As long as it's done prior to the scheduled time, we're good, right? But it will behoove you not to wait until the last minute. An example is if we have a scheduled consultation at 3 p.m., you really don't want to wait until 2:59 to make the payment. Because if you wait too long, I just might assume, hey, I guess homie either don't want to pay the money or maybe he ain't got it or something. So I might fuck around and just reschedule your time and give somebody else that time slot who is ready to make a payment, right? So just understand that, right? Also, for those of you who are interested in the Game Kings 2, the Definition of Man documentary, that link is also in the description. Fuck with your boy, right? So let's get into it, right? Red flag alert. Are you ignoring these warning signs? Now, here's the thing, right? In this space, in this particular YouTube space, right, there's a lot of discussions about women, dating, sex, relationships, everything associated with just social-sexual dynamics and dating dynamics, we tend to discuss in this particular space, right? And what I want guys to understand, what I really want you to get is that whenever you're seeking information or knowledge or advice about anything in life, not just about women, but anything, the whole point of it all is to get the best advice you can get that serves you well, while also not putting yourself in compromising positions. A real quick example, right? For all you guys that got jobs, some of you might have careers. Some of you might be entrepreneurs. You might have your own business, right? From a practical perspective or a logical perspective, it makes sense that you know what you're getting into before you get into it, right? So if you're taking a job, like let's say for the sake of argument, you're unemployed and you go to multiple job interviews, right? You go to multiple job interviews and let's say 5 of the companies that you interviewed with want to offer you a position, right? Common sense, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, let me look at the amount of money each one of these companies are willing to pay me. Let me look at the money. Let me look at the benefits. You know, medical, dental, vision. Let me look at the benefits. Let me also look at the job duty or the job description. Let me also look at where the job is located. Let me look at the commute. Okay, how far I got to travel for this job, right? Most people, the more money they're getting paid, the more they're willing to travel, right? The further out they're willing to go, right? Somebody might not be willing to drive 45 minutes for X amount of dollars. But if you give them the right amount of money, I can't even talk. If you give them the right amount, I can't even talk, God damn it. If you give them the right amount of money, my stammering ass, right? If you give them the right amount of money, they're going to be like, you know what? I think I can do that. There's something I can pull off, right? And all you're doing is you're comparing and contrasting, and you're saying, I want a job, but I want it to work with my lifestyle. I want it to work with other things I have going on, right? Because you have to have a good balance between life and work. Life and work, there has to be a good balance, right? So when we talk about dealing with women, it's not much different than that, right? There has to be a good balance, right? The women that you're dealing with, they have to fit in seamlessly into how you're living your life. The problem with ignoring red flags, essentially what you're saying is there are things that this woman is doing and or saying that's really a hindrance to how smooth I want things to go. But because she's so attractive, or because I'm lonely, or because I'm sexually frustrated and I'm having a dry spell and I really want to smash this chick, I'm willing to ignore red flags. I'm willing to ignore these warning signs. And when you ignore these warning signs, what you're doing is you're putting yourself at risk to invite negative energy into your world. You're putting yourself at risk to be in compromising positions that can ultimately be a detriment to your sanity. It can be a detriment to your well-being. It can be a detriment to your money, right? I need guys to understand that. So when I talk about red flag alert, are you ignoring these warning signs? Now I'm going to play this little clip. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit you with 6 warning signs or 6 red flags where in most cases you need to end any contact with the woman going forward. You need to just remove yourself from dealing with this woman, right? Now, there are way more than 6 red flags or 6 warning signs. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to hit y'all with this 6 or with these 6, right? So watch this clip. In about a minute, I'm going to come back and we're going to get off into it.
As a man, you should understand if a woman, after 2 weeks of dating her bills are due and she's stressed out and she got things going on that she can't handle and she's overwhelmed and and she can't pay her rent on time and she needs you to pay her rent, she ain't really fucking with you for real, because women are not even bold enough to do that with I'm gonna keep it real. Okay, let me tell you something. When a woman really messes with you, she don't even want you to know her shit ain't clean right now. She gonna dress it up every time for you like it's real money. And that's the truth, okay?
For real.
That's the fact.
For
you
real.
ain't never gonna know she has problems. You know how many men I was in full relationships where my shit was in shambles and he thought that I was the best thing smoking? Didn't even know?
Pause real quick. That, we gotta let that simmer. And she was talking real fast. You talk fast. Was you one of the Bone Thugs?
I was.
That was Chicken Bone.
Okay, so another warning sign or a red flag, which is, you can say this is a bonus, is never allow women to bring their problems to you. Never adopt a woman's issues. Never adopt a woman's problems, right? And real quick, for those of you that didn't catch the live stream, shout out to the homie Miles Cunningham. But there was a clip that we used with Ice-T, the rapper Ice-T. And he said this: when you say yes, you turn someone else's problems into yours. And one of those things is allowing women to trauma dump or allowing women to come to you with their personal problems. Okay, I don't give a fuck if she's struggling financially. I don't give a fuck if her car is in a shop. I don't give a fuck if she's about to be evicted and she needs a little help with her rent. I don't care. None of those things have anything to do with me, right? And I've seen Facebook posts where you have women who say, oh, it makes no sense to deal with a man if you're struggling and he can't help you. But yet and still you have this woman who just said, when a woman is really feeling you, she don't want to bring you her problems. She don't want you to know, right? And the reason why she don't want you to know is because she don't want you to have an unfavorable perception of her that's going to impact your desire to want to deal with her, right? I need you to understand, when you're dealing with women who are really feeling you and they actually respect you, they're not going to bring you drama. They're not going to bring bullshit into your life because they understand that in all likelihood, you're going to get rid of them, right? And they don't want that. I need guys to understand that, right? So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to hit y'all with 6 red flags you need to look for. First one, right? Let me say this. I want guys to understand, when I talk about, are you ignoring these warning signs? I'm specifically talking about women you just met, right? Because oftentimes the shit that you allow in the beginning is the same shit that's going to rear its head later on. If you end up getting into a relationship with this young woman, marrying her, having kids with her, or even if you just deal with her, you know, months into the future, the shit that you allow in the beginning is going to rear its head again, and it's going to become problematic for you later. So it makes sense for you to tackle this shit right now, right? And let me just say this. There are going to be times when you deal with women where checking them is not sufficient. Checking them or giving them a piece of your mind about something they did or said, it doesn't make sense to even do that because you just need to get rid of her. So giving her a piece of your mind is a waste of time. You just need to give her her walking papers and kick her out of your life. Like, you're done. You just need to do that. There's nothing to talk about, right? So the first one is, she challenges your choices or decisions. Again, she challenges your choices or decisions. So what this might look like, as an example, if you're setting up a date and the woman is challenging the venue, right? She doesn't like the place you chose, or she's challenging the location. Why did you choose that location? Man, I got to drive out of my way to go there, right? She's challenging you, right? A woman who is showing you deference, humble submission and respect. Hold on. You know, I got to find it. You know, I got to do visual for some of y'all motherfuckers so y'all can try and get this. A woman who isn't showing you deference, humble submission and respect, right? She's going to be the type of chick where every time you suggest something, damn near every time she's challenging you on it, or she's questioning why you chose this rather than that. You can't have that. You can't have that, right? One of the things you need to be looking for immediately is a woman's willingness to cooperate without challenging you, without any reluctance, hesitation, or resistance, right? So if she challenges your choices or decision-making, if you guys date into the future, or Lord forbid you get into a relationship, bro, you're not going to have any real influence in that relationship. You're not going to have any real influence. And what you're going to have is you're going to have a battle of wills, a tug of war, if you will, with the woman for who's actually leading the dynamic, right? So if a woman is challenging your decision-making or your choices in the beginning, if you deal with her, you're going to see more of that. So you got to get rid of her now. Okay, you don't, look, if a woman is challenging your decision-making as far as the date you chose or the location or the venue, number one, she is showing that she doesn't respect you. She doesn't respect your time. She is ungrateful. And she's not appreciative of the opportunity being given to her. You are giving this woman an opportunity to bask in your essence, to bask in your physical presence. And she's literally acting ungrateful. Okay, you don't check the behavior, you just get rid of her, right? Number 2, she attempts to control the way y'all communicate. This is a big one for me, right? All of them are big ones for me, but this is the big one. Pause, right? She attempts to control the way you guys communicate. What this might look like, now, let me just say this. I don't believe in asking for a woman's phone number. I only offer my phone number. Now, once I've offered my phone number and a woman has taken my phone number, if she wants to call me or text me right there on the spot and say, now you have my number too, that's cool. I don't mind exchanging contact information with a woman. But if I'm attempting to give a woman my phone number and she ain't trying to take it, there's no need for us to talk at that point. Now, for a lot of you guys, what a lot of you guys are running into in some cases is you're trying to get a woman's phone number. And she says, oh, I don't give my number to the man I just met. You can have my Instagram. That's a no. She's trying to control the way you guys communicate. And the reason why a woman would want to give you her Instagram rather than her phone number is because she's trying to screen the communication between you two, right? I'll give you an example. For those of you who are old enough to remember, back in the day, right, when you had a landline, right, you had caller ID. The caller ID was one of the best inventions known to man because now when people call, you can see the number and you can pick and choose who you answer the phone to because you're screening your calls. You're picking and choosing who you want to speak with. When a woman is giving you her Instagram instead of her phone number, essentially she's doing the same thing, right? Because a woman who's attracted to you, however you want to communicate, she's about it, right? If you say, look, we're going to communicate via Morse code. We're going to communicate via smoke signal. Hey, what I'm going to do is send you a carrier pigeon. She's going to find a way to know how to communicate with carrier pigeons because she's about it. And I know I'm being a little facetious, right? But the point I'm trying to make is however you want to do shit, because she's really about it, she's going to do it your way for the most part, within reason. But she's going to do it your way. Any woman who's resistant to doing the things you want to do at your pace, your way, don't fuck with them. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's showing you minimal interest. It's showing you a low level of interest. It's also showing you a low level of investment because a woman who really wants to make something happen with you, she's going to do anything and everything to make it easy, right? Number 3, a woman who's overly concerned about other women you might be dealing with, right? There's going to be times when women are just curious and they might say something to the effect of, you probably got a lot of bitches, huh? Right? And that's not necessarily her being overly concerned with other women. That's just her being a little goofy, saying some goofy shit, right? In that case, you don't need to necessarily check her or charge her. You can just say, you know what? I'm a likable guy. What can I say? But anyway, back to you and me, right? All you got to do in certain cases is redirect the woman back to the task at hand. You don't have to get into this long, drawn-out conversation. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to try and downplay the fact that you are a wanted man that women want to see about you. You don't got to downplay that, right? But at the same time, you don't got to overly explain what's going on with you. And also, when you got a woman who's a little too inquisitive, like she's damn near questioning you about why you're dealing with multiple women and what do you want with me? You got plenty of women. At some point, you got to be like, you know what, baby girl? I ain't got time for all of this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make something happen, you got my number, hit me up. And you just got to walk away from it, right? Number 4, if she calls you or texts you because she's bored, I'm specifically talking about women you just met. If a woman is hitting you up, like she's stuck in traffic, and she literally tells you, I'm bored, talk to me. That's a red flag. It's a huge red flag. And the red flag is this. She doesn't respect your time. Because a sensible woman would say, let me not call this man about some bullshit. This is a busy man. If I'm going to call this man, let me call this man and actually have a productive conversation, right? Because a woman can call you if she's stuck in traffic, and she can say, you know what? I got time to call him. You know, let me just see if he's available later tonight, or let me see if he has free time tomorrow. So let me take this time that I have to call this man and just let him know that I want to see him. See, if a woman is calling you and she wants to see you, and in the midst of telling you that, she's trying to have a further conversation with you, there's nothing wrong with that. But yet and still, you have to figure out a way to end the conversation if you actually don't want to have it. So if a woman is calling you, telling you she wants to see you, and then she starts talking about some unrelated shit that you really don't want to talk about, you could be like, hey girl, look, get home safe, focus on the road, I'll see you tonight. Or, you know, focus on what you're doing, I'll hit you back tomorrow and we'll just confirm what we're going to do tomorrow. And you just get the fuck off the phone. Right? But again, if a woman is calling you saying she's bored and y'all literally just met, specifically if y'all hadn't had sex yet, y'all need to learn how to limit women's access to you. Right? The more a woman invests, the more access she gets, assuming she's worthy of it. Okay, let me say that shit again. The more a woman invests, the more access she gets over a period of time. I don't care how much she invests in 30 days. 30 days ain't long enough. So she can keep investing all she wants in 30 days. She needs to be able to do that consistently over an extended period of time. And then she'll get access at a time of your choosing. You choose the type of access that she's going to get. But it has to be based on her investing more than just sex, right? If a woman wants access to you beyond sex, she has to invest more than sex, right? Number 5, she wants you to wait for sex. You see how that works? She wants you to wait for sex. So a woman wants access to you non-sexually, but she wants you to wait for sex, right? A woman wanting you to wait for sex is a huge red flag. It's a huge red flag. And this speaks about a woman valuing your time, right? A woman can't get my time while telling me what she's not going to do when she's getting my time. Okay, repeat what I just said. A woman cannot get my time while at the same time telling me what she's not going to do while she's getting my time. No, if you want my time, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. If you got a problem with it, we ain't got to fuck with each other. It's just that simple, right? And let me just say this, right? And I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. A woman wanting you to wait for sex is basically her saying, let me control this. By you agreeing with that, you're following a woman's lead. That means you're submitting to the woman. You're dealing with the woman on her terms at that point. That's a huge red flag. Any woman conducting herself in a way where she wants you to let her take the lead in something, or where you're following her lead, or you're dealing with her on her terms and letting her dictate the pace of everything, you're submitting to the woman. Okay, you're going to have difficulties with this woman at some point in the future if you deal with her. You can't fuck with her. Now, let me just say this about waiting for sex. The only time a man should wait for sex is if that's what you want to do. Meaning this, if you deal with a woman who wants to have sex with you now, but you don't, you're like, nah, baby girl, look, this ain't going nowhere. It's going to be right here for you. You know, let's chill. You know, let's just enjoy each other a little bit, right? If you play your cards right, I'm going to give you what you came for in due time. But let's just chill. If you're that type of guy and you move like that, that's different. But if you want to have sex and you're mainly motivated to deal with that woman because you want to have sex and you're waiting because she told you you got to wait, she said, you know, we got to be friends first. You got to date me first. I got to get to know you. And you're waiting on the premise of that. Bro, that's a red flag. Stop letting women come into your life and run shit. No. Number 6, asking you for favors. A woman should not be asking you for favors. She shouldn't be asking you for no money. She shouldn't be asking you Like, let's say for the sake of argument, you guys been dealing with each other for a couple of weeks, and she going out of town, and she's calling you to see if you can take her to the airport or pick her up from the airport. Hell no. No. Don't do women any favors. Don't do them any favors. Not in the beginning. I'm not saying you can't do favors for your woman. Hence, your woman, but a woman you just met, no. Because the moment she asks for something and you do it, and I want guys to peep something. I'm going to show you how deep the game gets when it comes to doing certain things. In the very, 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 very beginning, when you're dealing with women, you do not want the sex that you guys are having to be tied to anything. You don't want the sex to be tied to dates. You don't want the sex to be tied to money. You don't want the sex to be tied to her asking you for things and you saying yes. You don't want the sex to be tied to any one of those things. Because the moment that the woman doesn't get what she wants, you're not going to get sex. So you want the sex to stand on its own. You want her desire for you sexually to be independent of anything else. You don't want it to be associated with, well, if you're not going to do this favor for me, no pussy. If you're not going to let me spend the night, no pussy. If you're not going to take me out, no pussy. And a lot of guys, they don't understand that in the beginning, because you are ignoring red flags and you're giving women what they want, right? You think you're winning because you're getting pussy out of it. No, bro. You're setting yourself up for frustration, potential drama, and nonsense. Right? And I saw a Facebook post where a guy said, you know, if I'm fucking on a chick, the least I can do is get her nails done, her toes done, or I can do her a favor. If she needs something, I ain't got no problem, you know, coming through for her. And now what you have done is you tied the sex to those things you're doing. And a lot of guys, they don't look at it that deep, right? And the reason why is because they're happy getting crumbs. They're happy getting sex. So wait a minute. So because you're fucking a woman, now bear in mind, she invested her vagina, just like you invested your penis. Both of you made an equal investment for the most part, right? Because me personally, I believe dick is a gift. And I believe a lot of times when you're getting with these chicks sexually, if you actually know what you're doing in bed, sometimes you feel like what you just did to that woman sexually is like she owed me something extra. Like I'm really breaking this chick the fuck off. Like she ain't getting no mediocre sex over here. You know, I'm really taking it to this chick, right? So sometimes you're looking at this chick like, shit, you might have to invest a little bit more because I'm putting in mad work over here, right? But the point I'm trying to make it is this. Both of you invested your bodies into the equation. And then you turn around and you start investing favors. You start investing acts of service. You start investing, oh, let me get your feet done, your toes done. And she hasn't invested nothing but her body. And you wonder why women don't respect you. You're investing way too much. If a woman wants access to you non-sexually, she has to invest more than her body. Period. On that note, like, share, and subscribe. Red flag alert. Are you ignoring these warning signals? Don't be no fool out here, guys. Make women respect you. And if they can't, get rid of them. Post haste. Not now, but right now. I'm going to holler at y'all. Real game, no theory. 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Peace.